Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Looking for Love. I am your host, Trey Kearney, and this is my co host.
Lamar Hall.
And we are here to bridge the gap between Generation X men and Generation X women without bickering, fighting, just to learn about each other, what it is that we need in order to maintain, sustain, and remain in healthy relationships within our generation. Instead of our older women dating younger men, now older men dating younger women, what can we do to date our own age? So that's what we're here for. So, Lamar, how was your week?
It's going good. Going good. Work is coming. So
How was the Rolling Stone concert?
it's coming. I had boxers show up today. So it's time to
How
start
was the
working.
concert?
It was actually good. You know what? Me and my dad talked about it yesterday. And I, I don't know, maybe it was some point during the thing. I just was staring around and I got a little emotional because I'm looking at all of these people that are older than my parents and 100 times more active.
Wow.
So I had the privilege to go on a really good friend of mine. I've known her for over 20 years. We had work friends. She was my sales rep, and I was a young buyer. She's a mega fan. I mean, she has no husband, no kids, no nothing. She's made a lot of money in her career. She flies across the globe seeing these bands, and it was just
The
this.
Rolling Stones?
And you too. She has told me
Oh,
she saw the Rolling Stones over 80 times, and
oh,
she's seen you two over 160 times in every country you can think of. So there's a culture of people that travel and go to these places. And so we were there so early. I took the opportunity just to really sit down and talk to people. I met a couple from Calgary that drove from Calgary to Houston. They went to Aruba. Their son told them that the Rolling Stones were playing. They went to the concert. They're going to drive to San Antonio and then drive back to Calgary. I'm like, there's some
wow.
people. There's some people out here living, man. And I watched old people walk up and down steps, and they taking care of themselves. And we gotta do better, man. I mean, we gotta do better. But
Definitely.
on a funny note, I think visiting, like looking at the concert, I think I counted like six black people.
Wow.
And I was one of the six.
Wow. Well, it is the Rolling Stones, you know. You
It
wasn't that
was,
old.
but I mean, Mick Jagger is 80 years old. He's,
How was he?
I mean, he looks horrible, but
He was a dancing
he's
skeleton?
80. I mean, he's 80 years old. I mean, but he's out there dancing. He was on his knees, and I'm like, holy cow. That's like the moment that this one of those guys, they can't do that anymore, or somebody passes, they don't have any more purpose in life. That's what's
Right,
keeping these guys alive,
right.
and it was amazing to see. I had a great time. I really did, way more than I thought I would. So I really enjoyed it. I really, thought my friend Kelly, I really thank her for doing that. So it was
Oh,
good.
that's great. I'm so happy for you. That's good.
Yeah.
It's nice to have different experiences.
And that's what it was. So I told myself this. I said, your natural thing is you don't want to do things. You're like, nah. When Kelly asked me, my natural instinct was to go, what the
I
hell I
was
want
in the Rolling Stones.
what do I want to do that for? But I told myself, this part of my New Year's resolution is I'm going to stop saying no and stop being afraid to have these experiences. And that this is one that, when they're gone, they're gone. And I can honestly say I saw them. It's just like it was pretty cool. And just to listen to the fans, it was really cool. So
Yes. And another one of your things is being on this podcast because
yeah,
who would thunk it?
yeah,
And I
that's
did.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So I mean, it's like, and when you asked me, I was just like, I don't know if I could do that, and it's like, man, stop, So I have my sales agency is called Doubt kills dreams. So I have a saying is that doubt has killed more dreams than failure ever will.
Wow.
So it's, that's why I kind of named my agency that. So it's just like, stop being afraid, people. Do what you got to do, live, because it ain't promised.
Just
It's not
do it.
promised.
Guys,
Just do
do
it.
it. Yes,
Just do it.
I be just doing everything. So
Yeah, I saw you this weekend. Tell me about your weekend. You was outside.
I was outside. I was just outside. It wasn't nothing big. I had a good time. Had some drinks,
How'd
hung
that
out.
rum, how that rum taste?
Home. Huh?
How that rum taste?
Oh, that rum punch. Ooh, listen, I won't be drinking that no more. Just say that. I won't. Not that.
You taste too good.
No, I was tipsy. I'm not
This,
saying I won't. I'm not gonna
no, I'm gonna
drink.
say it snuck up on you. How
Yeah,
many?
no, no, no more Courtney's rum punch. Courtney is my best friend's cousin, and she's the bartender.
Um,
She makes this rum punch, and the rum punches you. Period. Like, and I told her I didn't want that, but it was crazy, and it was really busy because they had a brunch, and they had a jazz band in the back, and she was the only one working the bar. So I said, since that's already pre-made, that's my girl. Never
okay.
again. No,
How many did you have?
don't ask that.
Ah, see, so it ain't the puncher's fault. It's the
It is
operator's
the
fault.
punch's fault.
It's the operator's fault. It ain't
It's
the
the
puncher's
punch's
fault.
fault.
The punch was just punching.
The punch is punching, and the punch it was good. So you don't think the punch gonna punch you till the
Mhm.
punch you. You like
Do we have north of 3?
yes,
Okay, like I'm pretty sure it's equivalent to a Long Island, so I'm sure that's.
you're right. See, that's what she was talking about. No, it's not. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, I would
And
think so. Probably
nah,
have
like
probably
no,
3 or 4 different liquors in it. And nah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, never, never, ever, never again.
You didn't
Yeah,
stand a chance.
thank you, Kimmy. Hey,
You didn't.
Roman. So we're going to get right to it. So if you just tuned in, you're tuned into Looking for Love. We're here every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the New You Nation Network YouTube channel. We are a Generation X man and a Generation X woman just bridging the gap and having healthy conversations and different topics and have different questions. So we're going to get to our first question of the night. Where's my glasses?
Let's go.
Because I can't see without my glasses. I've been abstinent for 2 years, met the love of my life. I told him I did not want to sleep with anyone without a true commitment. So we had a very short engagement and got married January 1st of this year. I'm 52 and he's 56. We talked about everything from soup to nuts, money, grandchildren, living expenses, deal breakers, and sex extensively. Well, on our wedding night, he had a problem performing. I chalked it up as nerves. The next day, we actually made love, and it was less than subpar, to say the least. I have a very high sex drive. It's been 4 months and has not gotten any better. It's actually causing friction in our marriage already. I feel like I was duped because I told him I have a very high sex drive, and he assured me I would not be disappointed. I really feel like I have the right to annul this marriage. Does this make me shallow?
I think if you were very honest of what your needs were in the beginning, and now I think it's worthy of a conversation on what could be hindering the performance and try to come up with some preventative measures to see if that works. But to just annul the marriage, I mean, over sex without trying to at least try to find a solution. Am I wrong for thinking that? I mean, because she sounds like she's ready to cut the cord. So, well, okay, I'm done. All right.
Um, I'm gonna say this. You made a commitment beyond sex, I'm sure, and it's honorable and noble to know that you did not sleep with him before you guys were married. But that was a decision that you made. So I'm not saying you made your bed so you gotta lie in it. I'm just saying people talk a good game, which she said he assured me that I wouldn't be disappointed. We all talk a good game, but a good game for people our age, for some people our age, right? For a man that's, what she say, he was 56?
Mm-hmm.
56 and she's 52. So for a man that age, I assure you, you won't be disappointed. Might mean 15 to 30 minutes. To a woman your age at 52, who you won't be disappointed, might mean an hour and 15 minutes. So his, I'm sure you won't be disappointed, might have been 3 pumps and a hump. But I'm not going to be disappointed is something different. So I would just say I would really have a hard conversation with him. Like really, really have a hard conversation. Like that's a really, really hard conversation to say, I'm not sexually satisfied with you. And I feel like you lied to me. Because I will feel that way. If I told you I have a very high sex drive, and you know that we haven't tested the car. You know, we didn't test drive the car. So I need to be assured. And he assured her that she wouldn't be disappointed. So I'm not saying you have a right for an annulment, because if you're basing your whole marriage on sex, you should have never married that man.
I agree, but this is a lesson that maybe if you're getting that serious, if you've moved in, if you think you're going to marry each other and it feels like it is, you might want to do it before you get married. Because married ain't, it's now she got to do an annulment. Let's just say she does the annulment. If she had just had sex with him a week before the marriage, she would have known what she needed to know. Huh?
To not marry him, she would have known not
I mean,
to.
I'm just taking the approaches that if she's going to annul the marriage, I mean, that's pretty shallow. If y'all should be trying to come up with a solution. I mean, it could. I mean, if he's overweight, he get his health together. There's supplements. There's natural things that men can do to boost their testosterone. He can start working out together. Lift your legs. There's natural testosterone in men's legs. There's supplements. There's things that could be done that could help. There's Viagra.
Right.
I don't understand why she's so quick to want to pull
Well,
the
it's been
plug.
4 months. It's been 4 months of.
But that's what we're saying is that you had if you're gonna. I think she's been married before. So when you're going into your second or your third marriage, why are you not being honest with each other and not being able to create this conversation or communication between two people, whether it's good or bad or somebody's feelings are going to get hurt? But come on, we're too. You can't be getting married to people and not being able to talk and communicate. When it's your second plus marriage, that's just poor. Poor growth on your part. It's just like sit down and talk to them. So
Right. And I would also say, for those of us who have decided to do something different and not sleep with somebody before we get married, and those who are in the faith, like those who are Christians, and you've decided that I'm not sleeping with anybody until I get married, understand you're making a commitment. So if it's not good, if you can't adhere to that commitment because the sex is not good, then you're not really ready to go into a marriage, and you're going to have to test drive the equipment. If your mind is not right to say, if this does not turn out to be what I think is going to turn out to be in the bedroom, am I still committed to this as a Christian woman or as a person who has decided to abstain from sex until marriage? Am I still going to be committed to this person, or am I going to destroy this person based on the fact of a decision that she made? She made the decision that I don't want to have sex with anybody until I have a real commitment. And this man said, I honor you enough to marry you because I value you and I respect your values. And I'm not going to try to make you sleep with me without giving you a commitment. So he gave you a true commitment. So again, if you're not going to be able to honor your own commitment to the person because the sex is not what you think it should be, then you should rethink how you're moving forward, going into commitments. And like I said, as Christian women and people who have decided that I want to do something different, there's a risk. And my question to you, to every person that's on here that's abstaining and saying, I don't want to marry anybody, I don't want any more notches in my belt till somebody makes a true commitment to me, there's a true risk in that. And for each of us, is the risk worth the reward? Because I'm in the situation that she's in, because I'm saying I don't want to sleep with nobody till they marry me. So this could very well be my plight. So I have to think to myself, if this happens, I'm going to be committed to what I signed up for. Because you signed up for that. Boo, you signed up for, I don't want to sleep with you till I get married. Now you married this man and it didn't turn out to what you wanted to be. So now you want to get an annulment. That's not fair to him, because how about if he was pressuring you to sleep with him before y'all got married to say, well, I want to make sure the coochie is good. You will be like, oh, you're forcing me and this is not fair. And you don't want to give me a commitment. This man committed to you and now you were ready to run.
You know what? I love when women when intelligent women properly correct other women on some bad decisions. Very well said. And she should feel
Right. If it's
so
all
good.
about sex,
Good,
then
good job. I think we were thinking the same thing. You just said it a hell of a lot
yes.
better than I did.
So asking the question, am I shallow? Your behavior is shallow. I don't know you as a person, but this behavior
Shallow.
to basically, and I'm not saying you pressured him into marrying you, but to tell him what your standard was and what your morals and your values were, and for this man to honor you and do what he needed to do to make you an honest woman, I think that you should have a real conversation with not only him, but a real conversation with yourself. Because moving forward, if you get this annulment, you're going to want to get married again. And are you going to tell the next man that I'm not sleeping with nobody until we're married?
She gonna say I haven't given the coochie up. That's exactly what she's gonna say. She gonna know that coochie that off the list too. Like that one didn't count.
Yeah, yeah. She's gonna scratch that off because it's an annulment. So
That's
no,
that's
again,
not how it works, Mama.
yeah, I really
That's
think
not how it
that
works.
we have to, as people who make decisions, we have to be all right. It's again like with our non-negotiables that we don't honor. You have to honor the commitment that you made to this man and find a way to work it out, like Lamar said, whether it's Viagra, whether it's a mind thing for him. Now he feels he might be able to perform well with you now because of the pressure that you're putting on him. Because you said it's already causing tension in a marriage. Like you didn't even give him a chance to get the excitement out. Because sometimes men get excited and it's ooh, ooh, ooh. Like sometimes.
Well, you start playing head games in yourself like that. And, like you said, it's the first or second time. Okay. But she said it's been a couple of months. What I would say to any man listening now, that you can Google things to increase testosterone naturally: cod liver oil, vitamin D3, ice cold showers. Like, start shocking your body the last 30 seconds of your shower, lifting weights, getting your diet under control. It's drinking water. There's things, gentlemen. Oh, there's a natural herb called ashwagandha. That one will get you right. It's a natural type of Viagra type of thing.
Say that
So
again.
ashwagandha. So there's things, if you're a man that you're trying to perform, there's things and supplements and things you can do to naturally. You don't have to run to Viagra. You can do some things naturally, but it's going to require you to be more conscious of what you're putting in your body, what kind of sleep you're getting, and what you're doing. It has to become more of a healthy lifestyle. So and that's something that any man over the age of 40 should really start considering and start taking care of yourself. Because if you're heavily drinking, you're smoking and doing things like that, the first time your manhood doesn't perform, you'll start to be like, uh-oh, something's going on.
Yes,
So,
and Richard said beets as well.
yes, because it's blood flow. So it's not it doesn't taste great, but anything that gets blood flow circulating in your body.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what I
okay.
said. That's what I said. When my man gets hard, I get lightheaded.
Don't start. It's too early for this. We not going there today. That's one for you, one for Lamar. If you just tuned in, you're tuned into Looking for Love. We're here every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the New U Nation Network YouTube channel. We answer questions about life, love, and the pursuit of happiness for Generation X. We are bridging the gap in Generation X men and Generation X women. So we have a live question. Good evening, y'all. Question: how do you compartmentalize petty disagreements so that they don't fester and turn into resentment with your partner? Some remarks, opinions linger long a convo.
True. I think you have to be mature in the way you
Thank
have
you.
disagreements, because you have to stay on task of what you're having the disagreement about. It's not what happened last week or what happened, how I was raised or anything like that. So just
Control yourself.
yeah,
Self-control.
don't let it be, don't it shouldn't be emotional. It should be two adults trying to talk things out. If you find yourself being emotional, then that's when you have to come up with some words to go like, listen, this is not the time for us to be talking.
Right. And
Until
petty
both
disagreements, let me say this. And I know you shouldn't be having petty disagreements. first of all, we can agree to disagree on anything. Like you think it's 6 and I turn it around and I think it's 9. We're not gonna have petty disagreements. So we don't have to um, do anything other than be the best, highest version of ourselves in the situation. This is how you avoid remarks and opinions lingering long after the convo. You don't say things that you don't mean. And if the other person doesn't have self control, that has nothing to do with you. You have to make sure that you're telling that person, this is not the way you're going to behave with me. And if this behavior doesn't change, I'm going to remove myself from the situation because I don't say things to you or I don't make petty comments or I don't say degrading things to you because I know as an adult that these things linger and you can't erase. Words are staying in your brain. Once somebody says it, you can't take it back and it's hard for people to forget it. And most of the time people never ever forget what you say. So both people have to have self-control, control of your mouth, watch what you say. If you don't want somebody to say it to you, don't say it to them, and be adult enough to agree to disagree. That's all. Let's agree to disagree.
Agreed.
We hope that was helpful. So we're going to get to the next question.
Yep, let's go.
Let me see which one we want to do first. Oh, let's do this one. I'm cheating on my wife and I feel like the S word. I'm trying not to curse anymore. Not to blame her for my choice to cheat, but my wife gives me every excuse in the book to not have intercourse. We go months at a time with no sex. I've talked to her a million times and nothing changes. We've been to couples counseling. The therapist asked us some very deep questions, so there's nothing physically wrong with her. She's just never in the mood. We have 3 children, 14, 16, and 17. I do not want to be away from my children, so I stay. But I feel like trash because I'm cheating. But this is crazy. I'm super close with my children, very involved with the family. We've been married for 22 years. I never thought it would turn out like this. What do I do? I'm broken, embarrassed about my behavior, and confused.
I've been there.
Mm.
I've been there, unfortunately. There's not a lot that he's going to be able to do to change that behavior because I just truly believe that there's 2 types of people in this world. And when a person that doesn't truly care for sex, they have sex, but it's so lackluster. And that sounds like what he's in. So it doesn't matter the counseling or anything like that. Either you like sex or you don't. And if you don't particularly care for it, you'll do it, but you just are going to go through the motions and you're not going to make your partner feel that great. So I'm not going to condone the cheating. What I would do is, in an effort for your peace of mind and your happiness, is that you're going to have to go on a journey. You're going to have to sit down with your wife and you're going to have to require a lot of honesty. And it's going to either pull you guys together or it's going to push you guys apart. And that will probably result in a divorce. But the way that you look at those 3 children is that if you put forth every effort, stop cheating, put forth every effort to save your marriage, because divorce is not the first option, it is the last option. So put forth the effort in a way that when you talk to those 3 children, when they are adults, and be like, if it does demise, that you sat down with them and said, I tried, I did everything in my power to save this with your mother. This was the last option, not the first. So first thing, be honest. It's just time to be honest, because your happiness is what's, hanging in the balance.
I agree. I'm going to say this because I've dealt with clients who have dealt with this, and I've dealt with some clients who have stayed and they've worked it out. And then I've dealt with clients who had to leave because the other person was not willing to change. And you said you were willing to go to counseling. A lot of times it's the man that's not willing to go to counseling. So you said you were willing to go to counseling. You said you talked to her a million times. I'm going to say this, and I'm never condoning divorce because I love marriage, but you can't make a person do what they don't want to do. And I understand that it's sad for men because so many times the man has to leave the home and not be around his children. When you have a good relationship with your kids want to see you every morning. You want to wake up with your kids. You want to have that whole experience. But Are you willing to risk your happiness for your children? That is the question, because what it sounds like is your wife is saying lump it or leave it. And what it sounds like to me is your soul is tormented because you're a good man and this is not part of your character, but you feel like you're stuck between a rock and a hard place. But in order not to feel like this, unfortunately, you have a very hard decision to make. And that's to either stop cheating and deal with what you're dealing with and not have sex until your kids are grown and out of the house, or to make a conscious decision, like Lamar said, and dot all your I's, cross all your T's. And unfortunately, it may turn into the fact that you'll be co parenting. But children know when you're unhappy. That's another thing. Children know when you're unhappy. And
Well,
I hate that you may have to leave your home because that's so unfair to a lot of men. And I hear a lot of men who have gone outside of the relationship because they love their children and they felt like, why should I be torn apart from my environment, from the things that I love, from the things that I built, because my wife doesn't want to do what it is that she's supposed to do? So, I mean, you have a really hard decision. And again, like Lamar said, dot your I's, cross your T's, try everything, and then you have to sit down with yourself and just make a really hard decision.
but the problem is that society is always going to take the woman's side, no matter
Mm.
what. It's just built that way, and as a man, that's hard to swallow. Is that you could do everything right, and you're still gonna get blamed for it. So
Mm.
in a case like this, you got to sit down with yourself and go, can you deal with this situation? You know, with however your soul needs to deal with it, or do you need to be happy? Do you need fulfillment? Do you need a different life? Because once those children are gone, you're still going to have to deal with this.
And
So
you
that's
deserve
very,
happiness.
yeah, I mean, similar to my situation. I stayed till my daughter was 18. She went away to college, and I was in hopes of that this was going to get better, and it didn't. And I had to make that decision. Now, all along, I was cheating, like what he's doing. I was cheating to pacify the situation. But I knew at the end of the day, I had to make a serious decision. And at the end of the day, I had to sit her down and be like, this isn't my happiness, and I have to walk away from it. And I asked for the divorce because I got tired of I got tired of the cheating because I knew I wasn't a cheater. Yeah, I cheated on her, and I'll say it 1,000 times. I've been in 3 relationships since then, and I haven't cheated on those women at all.
Mm.
So it's like you deserve to be happy. Everybody deserves that, but at least you got to know what it looks like, and you got to definitely be honest and be ready to ask for it too.
Mm. Thank you, Lamar, for being transparent, first of all, because I know that he can hear from you because you're a man who has actually walked the walk and had to make the hard decision of walking away. And he said he was married for 22 years and you were married for,
I was married for 22 years.
oh, 22 too? Oh, he was married. Wow, that's crazy. So,
You know what? That is a crazy number. I got a buddy of mine. He was married for 22 years. I just at that 22-year mark for some reason. I don't know. Some
but them
just
kids be grown and the men be staying home till them kids graduate and then they try, because 18 and then the kids graduate and then you try to stay to work it out.
I mean, you try. Nobody wants to blow up their house.
No.
Even when I was wrong, I initially I wanted to work it out because I wanted her to be what I wanted her to be, but sometimes the hill is just too big, and it just wasn't handled the right way. Now, we went a whole nother route. Is that my brother was telling me the whole time, be honest, tell her, and I just wasn't mature enough to do it. I wasn't ready to be that honest, and had I been that honest, I don't know, maybe something would have came out of it different. I know as we were going through divorce, she told me, she's like, if you had been honest and told me what you needed, maybe we could have come to some type of agreement if I wasn't holding up my end. And I'm looking at her like, so basically you're going to say you're going to condone for me to do what I was doing?
Right.
That sounds like a setup.
And again, there are, and this is just from my experience from coaching men and from interviewing men. There are so many men who have been honest. Like he said, I've talked to her a million times about this. What do you do when you've told somebody a million times This is what I need. What do you do when you go to counseling and the therapist says, you know, you have to please your husband, and then you get back to the house for the next 7 years, and it's the same situation of, I'm not doing it. I don't feel like it. I'm not in the mood. I'm tired. After that, like, what do you do when you have expressed yourself? You have to make a really hard decision of, I'm going to have this one last conversation. We can go back to counseling one more time, but I'm not going to bang my head against a brick wall. And the real honest part about it is to say, if I'm not getting it from here, I'm going to get it from somewhere else. So you have to make a conscious decision as a wife to say, this man has told me his needs are not being met. And if he's not going to get it from me, he's going to get it from somewhere else. And if you decide to not give it to him, then you are unconsciously telling him to go get it from somewhere else because I'm not giving it to you. And I just feel so sad for men every time I hear these stories because I feel so sad that they have to leave their home that they've built, that they've been. And if he's a good man that's paying bills, and he said, I'm a family man, and that's taking care of home, that's involved with his children, that's doing everything he's supposed to do, and his wife has decided to check out sexually with him, it's so unfair that he has to pack up his stuff and he has to go find another apartment, a smaller apartment, or whatever that looks like. It sounds like he's going to make sure his kids are comfortable. It's just an unfair situation, and unfortunately, it happens far too often. So, wives, if you want your husband to be monogamous, we talked about this before, Lamar. If you want your husband to be monogamous and you don't want him sleeping around, it is your responsibility to take care of him. And we're not talking about backflips and every day, but it has to be a win-win. It has to be somewhere in the middle. Like, you cannot expect your husband, and I'm not condoning cheating, but cheating is a symptom of a bigger problem always. I'm not condoning cheating, but you cannot expect your husband to go months on end without intimacy.
I would say this to women is that you guys don't truly, if you're married and that is the hurdle that is in your marriage, you realize you have to get back out here and the thing that you're not doing in your marriage, you're going to have to do in the next relationship?
Oh,
I told my ex-wife that. I said, the things I'm asking you to do, the next man is going to require. Or you won't have any say-so with him. So we can, the topics are endless, but the whole thing is that if that is the hurdle in your relationship, and now you're going to get thrown back out here to be single, just go ahead and get you some cats and throw in the towel and be like, I'm done. Because you're not going to have any meaningful relationships with a man by using sex as a reward or a tool. That doesn't work.
or checking out after a certain amount of time in the relationship.
But you know, the thing is with most men, 90% of our problems will be solved with women if we had consistent sex with our partner. That we would overlook a lot of things if the sex was consistent. So it's like, oh, she spent a little too much. Oh, I mean, whatever. We'll deal with that. She keeps me empty. Oh, she can't cook that good. Oh, you know, she keeps me empty. Everything that you think matters to him, the number one thing is keeping him empty. That's the number one thing. All of that other stuff doesn't matter. If she doesn't like to clean, then hire a maid. But that's a requirement. That has to be done. Because guess what? You can do it by yourself, but it ain't as fun. You get in trouble if you do it with somebody else. So it's your responsibility. It is absolutely your responsibility. And it's on both parts. And I'm not going to make this about sex. I'll make it about men. Date your wives. Buy them flowers. Take them out. Do things that you would do with your side chick.
Oh, are we going there tonight?
No, I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, I'm never going to be the person that's going to be, oh, I'm for this side and not this side. If I say something that feels like women go, oh, he's attacking us. Well, let me turn it around. I'm going to attack men too.
And this is not about attacking. This is like really, this is real talk. And I'm listening to Lamar because what he's saying is he's speaking for men. So I can't say, because I'm not a man, I can't sit here and say, oh, men gonna cheat anyway. Men this, that, and the. when this man is telling us that
What this is the
problem
absolute
is.
this is why my marriage ended.
Wow.
This is the absolute reason why my marriage ended. Everything else was tolerable except that.
Wow.
You know, and I was just like, hold on, hold on. You're gonna ride my ass and not give me any sex? Okay, I'm out.
Wow.
And that's what most men are gonna do. They'll be like, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. I gotta go out here, and that's why we say all the time, men settle where they find peace.
Peace
Create,
and peace.
yeah, I mean, you gotta have sex and peace, but if you create that peace, and he can go like, oh, it's different over here, and you give him some sex, and you listen to his stories, and you kind of go to the gym a little bit. I'm giving y'all all the free secrets. It's like I'm trying my best to wrap this because I watch a lot of Kevin Samuels stuff. Do I want to be him? No, but the message is there. And you have to pull this onion back and go, and I'm trying to give it to women in a more digestible manner that doesn't feel like you're being attacked. But
Yes.
I got a woman. So I was like, I'll give you all the game that guys don't want to tell you. If you truly want a man, just listen.
Yeah. And again, I'm sad for men when women get in a relationship with them. This is what I'm really sad about. I'm sad for men when they get in relationships and a woman becomes their roommate. It's not fair to become somebody's roommate when you signed up to be their wife. There are some requirements to being a wife, as well as there are some requirements to be a husband. But most of the time, it's such simple things that can be done to keep marriages whole and healthy, but people get so set in their ways. Instead of sitting down to have a solution to the problem, people want to negate or argue back and forth about why the problem is there instead of solving the problem. If your wife is telling you that she feels lonely and she needs to spend time with you, she feels lonely and she needs to spend time with you. She's not saying it to be a nag or anything. She feels lonely and she wants to spend time with you. And if you don't hear her, cheating is a symptom of a bigger problem. Most women cheat. All people cheat because a need is not met. All people, whether that need is financial from women or whether that need is sexual from men, all people cheat because a need is not met. That falls on deaf ears. This man said, I have told her a million times. I've even gone to therapy, still to have the same problem in my life. And because I'm married to her, I'm just supposed to suffer? No. So, brother, again, we're going to go to our next question. But if you dotted all your I's and crossed all your T's, and we really respect and honor you for not wanting to leave the house with your children, but you do have to make a hard decision for yourself. Are you willing to sacrifice your happiness for another 8 years until your children leave that home? Or are you going to make another decision? But the choice is yours. We're not here to promote divorce, or we're not here to shame, and we're not here to tell you to stay, and we're not here to tell you to go. But you have a really hard decision because you deserve to be happy. And if you're doing everything that you're supposed to do, it's hard out here, ladies. If you got a man that's doing everything he's supposed to do, and the only thing he's asking from you is to be intimate, don't lose that man, because it's a woman out here that's like, I will flip from the chandelier and do a gymnastics move on that thing, boo. If you paying bills and you into the kids and the family, please.
You know what I would challenge some couples. Let's say that this couple we're talking about, that they potentially they're having some problems. Take whatever the time is, a week, 2 weeks, and be apart and go get out in the streets. Go get in the streets and then see what your value is.
Wow.
That'll humble you. Because some of y'all out there think that y'all are still 20 years ago, and you get back out in these streets and 20 years has passed and the value is gone down a little bit.
Ooh.
And you're not as desirable. You don't command the same attention. And that's men and women. I mean, I was standing in divorce court and there was this guy, he was overweight and he wasn't attractive, 3 kids. I'm looking like, man, where are you going at? You gotta get back out here. Like, nah, you need to work this out, man. There ain't nothing out there for you unless you got a Lamborghini sitting outside.
So if you just tuned in, you tuned into Looking for Love. We're here every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the New You Nation Network. And we're just here to bridge the gap between Generation X men and Generation X women so we can have whole, healthy, healthy relationships. So we answer questions every week. If you have a topic that you want us to talk about, if you want to put a live question in the chat, we don't have a problem answering that as well. And we're going to go to our next question because people are starting to be like, you didn't answer my question last week. You didn't answer my question last week. I'm like, hold up. There's a line. So let's go. Oh, Lord. Lost the glam and lost the man. I've been dating a guy for 3 months. We decided to go on a weekend getaway. I had never spent the night with him before. In the morning when I got up and he saw me with my wig off and no makeup, the look on his face said it all. It was like he saw a dead dog in the road. He looked disgusted. Now, granted, I'm 46. My body is in shape like a 26-year-old because I keep myself up. I use makeup and wigs to enhance my looks. But damn, doesn't my personality mean anything? He ghosted me after the weekend. I haven't heard from him in almost a month. I've texted and called. I recently noticed he blocked me on all his social media. Doesn't he at least owe me a phone call or some sort of response? And by the way, we slept together. I'm pissed.
The ticker keeps going up, damn it.
I'm going to say this because Lamar going to be on one. But I'm going to say this, ladies. Listen. When people ghost, people call it ghosting when people don't answer the phone for you anymore. He doesn't owe you an explanation. You know what the problem is. You already know what the problem is. So you know when he saw you without your glam, lost the man. That's how she titled it. When he saw you without the makeup and the weave, he was attracted to an illusion. And so many of us have to realize as a woman, if you are not your authentic self, there is a possibility man will wake up with you in the morning and not your wig and not your weave and not your eyelashes and not your waist trainer. And he may have a different opinion of you. You have to understand that, first of all, when I meet somebody, this is me authentically. Now, when we go to a wedding or we go out, you call me and say, Trey, I want to take you out on a date. I'm going to glam it up, but you're going to already know that in the morning when you wake up, you're not going to wake up next to a man, or you're not going to wake up next to something that will make you look like you saw a dead dog in the road. So I know your body is banging, but I have to say this, and this is not to disrespect anybody that wears weaves, makeup, hair, and all of that. It's deceptive. That is not what you look like, especially people who really do a good job putting on makeup. Some of y'all contour your nose is like this small, and then your cheekbones is up here, and you don't even look like yourself. So when somebody wakes up to you in the morning and you looked 26 when you went to sleep, and you got a 26-year-old body, and he woke up to a 46-year-old face, and there's nothing wrong with your 46-year-old face. Had he saw your 46-year-old face first.
So I'm going to take a different approach to this.
Okay, you a man.
Okay, so from a man's standpoint, it's like we keep telling women things, and I tag you on things and stuff like that. And men can say it all day long, and women don't listen. So a man likes minimal things. Minimalist is the way to go. We're not saying you can't wear makeup. Just make it minimal. You don't have to look like a whole nother person when you wear makeup. Now, okay, we can debate hair, and I'll even meet a woman halfway if that's what you truly want to do. Just understand it's not healthy, and it's just like I don't understand why women y'all do this makeup and these BBLs and nails. All of that is y'all are competing against each other. So I'm telling you, there's not a man around that's looking at a woman and going, wow, her eyelashes are humongous or they're beautiful. I want to date her. That's not why men choose women. So if you are putting too much makeup on to the point where you look like a whole nother person in the morning, start to dial it back a little bit, because men don't want that. That we want to see you in your most natural state. And if women understood the industry that is being built on the backs of y'all's insecurities and the people that are getting rich because y'all don't want to embrace your natural hair. Who said? I mean, natural hair should be the thing. It's like makeup, eyelashes, these surgeries, and it's being led by people of color. We always do it. We always lead the industry when it comes to the insecurities.
Oh,
We do the same thing with designer clothing. We do the same thing with Nikes and Jordan. We'll break our neck and not pay a bill to buy some Jordans. And my job is predicated on that. I sell tennis shoes for a living. But that we got our value system all messed up. And it's until I loved it. I love the internet because you start to learn things if you choose to use it the right way. Now, if you want to look at naked women all day and you don't want to motivate yourself and do nothing, cool. Mine is about investing and making money and taking care of myself. That's what my feed is. That's what my mind is. So it's like, what do you want as who you want to be? It's like, it's like, why is makeup important? And when I date a woman, that's one of the things. If first of all, I don't talk to you if you have a whole bunch of makeup. But if you wear a little bit of makeup, I start asking questions. Why do you feel the need to wear that much makeup? And let them say, oh, that's just are you hiding something? Or do you have an insecurity? Is it, what is it? Because if I'm your man and I'm looking at you going like, babe, you look good. Why are you putting all this makeup on?
right.
So, I mean,
Right.
he has every right to ghost you because clearly she must have looked like two different people.
Clearly.
I mean, he must have been like, whoa, because I mean that it happens. So there are some women out there that absolutely wear way too much makeup. If your face could be all over your pillow and you wouldn't lay on your pillow 2 times with all the makeup you wear, I mean, that's too much.
I'm just saying, she said, my point for her is he doesn't owe you explanation. And the person that you should be pissed at, if you're saying you pissed because y'all slept together, you should be pissed at you because you decided to sleep with that man. And he gets to make every decision to have a preference that this is not what I want to see. If you got to get up, some men don't want a woman that got to get up before them. I remember I read this article. There was this woman that her husband or her boyfriend, I can't remember if it was her husband, but she got up every morning at 5 o'clock in the morning before he got up to get her makeup done so that he would not see her without her makeup.
That's ridiculous.
If you got to do all of that, baby, like you said, there's an insecurity issue. And when somebody doesn't want to talk, I just want to talk about ghosting for like 2 seconds, and then we're going to do one more question. If a person does not want to talk to you anymore, they have every right not to talk to you anymore. They don't owe you explanation. They don't owe you a conversation. They don't owe you closure. You give yourself closure when the person doesn't call you anymore. They have just told you that I'm not interested in this relationship anymore. If you carry it any further than that, that is on you. She said it's been a month. Doesn't he at least owe me an explanation or a phone call? No, he don't owe you nothing. He's showing you, I don't want to see you anymore. And if you don't get that from a person not texting you back or calling you back and blocking you on social media, he just had a conversation with you that I don't want to see you anymore. Mm-hmm. Now you just have to accept that in your own time. And then you have to go find a man the next time. There's a lesson to be learned here. Make sure the next time that you meet somebody, let them see the real you, the real you, and then glam yourself up. Say, I clean up. I clean up well, Lamar. I clean up. Clean up. I cleaned up well. But what you see on here is what you get. Like, I'm okay. I'm a 54-year-old woman.
Yeah, I mean, and you don't need.
My skin is losing elasticity. I know that. I drink and I use collagen and different things to keep my skin healthy or whatever. But there's nothing I can do to the fountain of youth does not exist.
Right, but in your case, you have such a natural look. If you wore a bunch of makeup, it would not. That is not your look.
No, I'm
That is not.
okay with me though.
I'm like I've seen women that had too much eyeshadow on and want to put blush on, and like what, you all you need right now, lip gloss. Go outside.
Right. I got on
That's it.
chapstick. That's it.
That's
Me,
it.
this is just this is
That's
just
it.
me being secure in me because a lot of people who have podcast, like these women on these podcasts, are just over the
Mm.
top. All these other media outlets, you know, these networks that got these talk shows. I'm looking at these women with these eyebrows, and I'm just like, I just want us, and I just want women who see me to understand that it's okay to have on your hoodie. It's okay to have your regular hair. It's okay not to have on no makeup. It's a little filter. It's a little filter on here because they do that on here. But when you see me, you see me. When you see me in person, I have people that say to me, "Oh my goodness, you look just like online."
Yeah,
Yeah, this
it's
is who I
it's
am.
okay. It's okay to get old, guys. It's okay.
Yes.
I mean, I don't understand
Okay.
why. You, you know what? People to me, people that are afraid to get old have regret that they didn't handle that life the correct way. So you almost want to do over. You want to relive it because you didn't do it right. You
Wow.
know, it's like it's
You gotta
okay.
love yourself. You just really gotta love yourself. I love me. I love
Yeah,
me. I love my wrinkles. I love my gray hair.
hey, I
I
see my
love
forehead wrinkling bad. I'll be like,
yes.
and I get the little crows thing. But look, hey, look, so I watched. Have you watched Kendra G's show?
I see it come up a couple times.
So to me, it seems like she picked up where Kevin Samuels left off, and her fan base, holy moly, man, they need to do some screen calling on that show.
They do. That's why I don't watch it. I can't do.
Oh my
I
goodness. I'm
can't do.
like, and I don't want to say nothing bad, but gee whiz, man, come on. Like the level of conversation, it's just
Right.
like what are we what are we trying to achieve here? Because I mean,
I know. I've
oh,
seen, and I've heard.
let me just say it was ratchet. It was
Right.
as ratchet can get. So
Yes.
I understand
So
that.
let me see. I'm glad I have my own hair. I can't stand weave. I can only wear it for 2 days at most if I get it. And so glad I don't need makeup, although I do wear it on occasions. Yes. And listen, you gotta love yourself. So if you just tuned in, you're tuned into Looking for Love. I'm your host, Trey Kearney, and this is my co-host.
Lamar Hall.
We're here every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the New You Nation Network YouTube channel. You can send us questions, you can DM us, you can send us topics you would like to talk about. We will be more than happy to hear your question or talk about your topic. So we're going to do one more question for the night because our people are getting mad because their questions are not getting answered. They're like, hurry up with that person's question. Hurry.
Yeah. Call you long-winded Trey.
Ooh.
I'm blame you.
I just found out I have an STD. I'm not in a committed relationship, but have several partners. I have two issues. How do I tell them? Because I don't know who gave it to me and if the others have it. The other thing is, one of the women I've been seeing, I really like her. And yes, we've messed around, but she thinks it's only her because I did not want to scare her off because she's different. This is a mess. The other woman know it's not only them, but I assured all of them that I was using condoms with the other women. I'm thinking about sending anonymous letters to everyone and telling them I got one too. What do y'all think? And yes, I am a Gen X man. Woo! Let me say this, and then I'll let you go, Lamar. But let me say this to the ladies. You put the condom on him, okay? Don't you let nobody in 2024 run up in you raw. Okay, you put the condom on him because somebody telling you that they are protecting themselves is not a guarantee that they are protecting themselves. I hear so many wretched men say when I was coming up that, oh, it don't have a condom on it, and all of those other trickery questions. You got to you protect yourself. Lamar,
Yeah, I mean, you got to protect yourself. And at the age we are, you definitely should. And now, it's an embarrassing conversation because now you got to protect everybody involved. You can't let anybody go around doing that. So yeah, it's your responsibility. My mom told me when I was 14 years old, don't leave it up to a woman to take care of your responsibility.
Mm.
And, and with that being said, I mean, that one, it was like a lightning bolt to me. I didn't have those issues. I only got one child, and she was playing. So I don't know. I've always been a responsible kid. So I don't
But
believe in the thing. Sex doesn't feel different with a condom or without it. It's okay. It's a little warmer. It's a little wetter. Okay, cool, big deal. So the end goal is if you're not to protect yourself. You're not in a committed relationship. Got to protect yourself. But it's also that woman's responsibility too to go, hey, listen, this is not happening. I've said no to sex plenty of times and when I didn't have a condom.
But for him to lie, this is the
Yeah,
problem I'm having with him.
that's
For you to tell those women that I'm using a condom with everybody but you, and for them to put themselves at risk because they believe you, this disgusting behavior is immature, and you owe all of them women not no anonymous letter, and you still are trying to carry on a lie by sending them an anonymous letter and then acting like you got an anonymous letter because you don't know which one of them gave it to you. So you need to grow up for once, and you need to have a conversation with each of those women to say, I screwed up, my bad, I lied to you and told you I was using condoms with the other women, and I haven't been using condoms with any of y'all, and I have got a result that I am not happy with, and one of y'all gave it to me, I don't know who, but it was my responsibility to protect myself from all of y'all, and I didn't, and I put all of us at risk. And again, women, you put yourself at risk when you allow somebody that is sleeping with multiple partners, and they told you so. He told you he's sleeping with multiple partners, which is not a bad thing if y'all all are not in a committed relationship. But you have to protect yourself and say, hey, I don't know what you're doing. Because anybody can lie. People lie. People lie. And if he's not in a committed relationship with you, why would you think that he was using a condom with the other woman? Now, the woman that he likes, I feel bad for her.
Yeah,
I feel really bad for her because he said she's different. So she thought, other women knew that it was multiple women. But this woman thought that she was in a relationship.
Yeah, he's gonna lose the one he likes. She's gone.
Oh,
So,
definitely.
yeah, she's gone. The other two, I mean, they know understand the situation, but again, it starts with him. Like, man, why are you out here being reckless? That's young boy behavior.
And again, he said he wants to send an anonymous email. You owe those women a phone call, a conversation.
They'd be a grown man. It sucks.
Right. It sucks. It really does, but you owe them. And this is a time for you to actually
make it right.
Change your ways. Right.
Yeah, make it right. You can make it right. You can right your wrong by being, because this is the uncomfortable part of, we talk about being uncomfortable.
Yes.
When you grow as a person, you are uncomfortable. This is his uncomfortable moment.
Right. You need to do what you need to do as a man and let those women know the truth. And then you need to decide what you want to do in your next relationship or this next go round. So if you like this other woman, she's gone. I'm probably 100% sure that she's gone.
Oh yeah, she's gone.
But if you really like her, I'm encouraging you to do something different because you're gonna find another woman that you like.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're gonna find another woman that you like, and when you do, this time, just be honest.
You still here? Your internet?
Yeah, I'm still there.
Your picture went away for a little bit.
Yeah, I'm still here. So, again, thank y'all so much because our time is up. It's actually 9 o'clock. Thank y'all.
There you go. There you go.
We had such a good conversation tonight. Such good questions. So again, we're here every Wednesday night 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the New You Nation Network YouTube channel for Looking for Love. I'm your co-host. I'm your host, Trey Kearney. This is my co-host,
Lamar Hall.
You can find me at Trey Kearney on Instagram, and you can find him
at MAR_T_Hall13.
And you can send us questions, comments, topics, what you want us to talk about, or you can email us at info@treykearney.com. You can send your question there, and we'll be happy to answer it. So, any final thoughts, Lamar?
No, enjoy y'all week, man. Y'all, be good to yourself. Laugh hard this week. When's the last time you laughed like gut wrenching hard, where the back of your head hurt, where your jaws hurt like that? Learn to laugh. Learn to laugh.
My final thought is just be honest. That's all. Don't put people at risk. And I'm not only talking about for STDs, but don't put people at risk for their mental health. Don't put people at risk by taking away their ability to trust other people from your lies. Because when we do things to other people, we damage them in so many different ways. Like they don't trust themselves, they don't trust other people, and you take away people's ability to be happy by not being the best, highest version of yourself. So just be the best, highest version of yourself, and everything will work out in your favor.
Yep.
So we love y'all. We'll see y'all next Wednesday, Weekend for Love, on the New You Nation Network YouTube channel at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Love y'all. Peace and blessings. And thank you again so much for tuning in.